Hey! I nearly said screw it and cut that countdown because it was taking too long, and I just wanted to get started. And we've got with us, as always, Glenn. I say with us as always. We've not been here for like 3 weeks.
No, it's been ridiculous, hasn't it? This is funny, isn't it? This is weird.
We've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
So shall we cut this short and just catch up? Right, nice to join us, folks. Thank you very much for being here.
Bye.
Have you been okay in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah, I've been fine over the last few weeks. When was the last one I did with you? Was I away? I was away, wasn't I?
I did one last week briefly, and then I think we missed the 2 weeks previous.
Yeah, last week. I mean, I nearly rang the Samaritans watching that one.
I didn't realise I was that bad, but I know.
Yeah, you were low, but
I know.
It's all good. We're back on it.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll dive into that in a minute, but I want to say hey to the guys in the chat because they're commenting away, and I want to catch up on them. So first up, it was in nice and early. We have Jeremy Carr. So
of course it was. Hey,
no one else was.
Hey, Jeremy.
Says, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and
can I just interject with Jeremy? Obviously sent you a video regarding what was it? Was he reviewing something or whatever? And you sent it to me.
It was
the first time I'd ever seen Jeremy properly or hear Jeremy speak or anything like that. And myself and Lynn did say that if he ever comes to the UK, Jeremy, we will adopt you. Okay.
Oh. It's Jeremy's actually going to be featured in my next video, which I've got editing at the moment. So that will be up on Thursday, hopefully.
Cool in the gang.
Yeah, added Jeremy Carr. Very nice. And we've also got John the Movie Man with us. What's up, guys? What's up, John? Hope you're doing well. We've got Lynn in the other room. Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn in the other room.
It's nice to be back.
I think Lynn's happy to have me out of the way. That's what that means.
Anthony Lipiello. Good afternoon, Phil. Long time no see. And that includes to all you lovely people in the chat. And I've noticed in the chat, I think YouTube have added something. I can't see it on my stream thing, so I don't know if I need to log in. But I think they've got a leaderboard to get XP, and whoever comments the most goes to the top.
Did Jeremy have a little crown next to him?
He did, yeah. He's the number one commenter at the moment. He could be beaten. Jeremy, you may be beaten.
Competition. Turn everybody against each other, Phil. Well done.
Yeah, John Robinson with us as well. Even Phil and Glenn.
Hey, John.
It's good to be back. May not be on top form, but we are here. AJ Pink, good evening all. Welcome back, Flynn and Glenn. Ethan Schneider. Hello, Ethan. Hope you're doing well as well. We've got Jerry Chia. Hey, Jerry. Hope you're doing well.
Jerry.
And all collectors. Got Big Jace. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, Big Jace. Oh, he's got a new picture there, Glenn.
Who's he got? Oh, it's Mel.
Oh,
Mel Gibbons.
Might show you in a minute. We've got Ace Mick with us. Boys back in town. We are. I'm sounding a bit nasal, but hopefully I'll be over that soon. We've got Jerry Chia again. Sorry, I'm losing track of comments already. And Big J says, King of the chat, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And Jeremy says it's too old to adopt. Well, thank you.
It's quite. You're never too old.
Yeah. So last week's live stream, it was done because I was working away. I felt guilty about not doing a live stream for a while, and I missed everyone. So I felt like I needed to jump on, and I think you messaged me to comment that I sent to in a bit of a state, and I perhaps was. It was an exhausting time, and I didn't get much sleep. I was worked a lot. It involved doing some work for a movie, which was exhausting in itself, but the days, it allowed me to sleep about 4 or 5 hours a night, which for me, it's not enough. So I was shattered, but it's also left me in a state that I've damaged myself as well. I've damaged my feet, and somehow I managed to get an infection in my toe, and I'm just trying to decide at the minute. So I was on Google search, am I going to lose my toenail at the minute? And I'm undeciding what's happening there, but it's a mess, and I'm on medication for that. And I think that's caused me to feel even worse in a way. It's not just the infection that it's fighting, but I seem to be coming down with all sorts at the minute. So I'm up and down and up and down and up and down. But yeah.
The toenail story was adorable, though.
It was funny. It's looking at pictures.
You should have actually had that as the title of the video.
I think Homer's title of the video is better.
I don't think he was stung by a jellyfish, to be honest. But
anyway,
whatever you're into, I mean, we'll
yeah.
discover that when we've adopted you, Jeremy.
So I'm going to, get us on.
Get us on.
So yeah, I've been working away for about 2.5 weeks, something like that. So it's led me to the topic of the week, really, which we've seen it, living without physical media. Because I've been away for that 2.5 weeks, I've had to go without having a physical collection with me.
Can I just say, very good, John. Very good. Very good.
There we go.
Very good. Very good.
So yeah, I've been having to live without my physical media collection, and it kind of makes me wonder if we could actually manage without a lot of our collections. Hey, Glenn's gone. Has he logged himself off, or has he lost something? Or have I lost something? AJ Pink says, have you experienced withdrawal symptoms from the physical media? I haven't myself, no. It's been a funny old thing because I've been so busy with what I've been doing. There's just not been the time to think about what I had in my collection or anything like that. So I've not really had that withdrawal from not having the physical because there's just not been enough time. But one of the things I was doing was I've been scouting around all the streaming services and things like that and seeing if digital can sort of offer up something that I don't need physical for anymore. And I
apologise that I obviously disappeared, but we do have a storm outside, and for whatever reason, I just switched off and lost connection.
I've got my window open. I may need to close it if the storm.
Honestly, it's thundering like crazy at the minute.
So when was the last time you touched your physical media collection? When was the last time you actually put a disc in the machine?
My what? Touch my
physical
what?
Media collection.
Physical media collection. Well, I said this to you in the week. I can't remember the last time I went over to those shelves and actually took a title off of there.
Yeah.
Walked through and put it in the player. I just can't. And I have kind of, I think I realistically don't need them then, clearly. And then I get to my shelves and I start going, oh, I really like that film. I really like that title. Oh, well, I can't get rid of that because I really like it. And that's got really good extras on it. And I end up convincing myself that I need to keep all of it. When actually I go nowhere near it most of the time.
I think what's not frightening to me at the minute, but when I've been browsing the streaming services, I've found, especially on Prime this last week, there's a ton of films on there that I still want to see that I've not picked up on physical media, that I've just avoided picking up for whatever reason. But suddenly, there's a whole barrage of films that I wanted to see that are already streaming. So obviously I didn't need to pick up the physical particularly, or I haven't done. So they're not sat on the shelves, but now I've got the opportunity to watch them and decide if I want them on the shelf. But then, do I want to put them on the shelf if I can see it streaming? It's a weird back and forth that's in my head at the moment. Do you ever have that sort of issue? Do you watch something on streaming and then pick it up afterwards, or have you stopped doing that completely?
No, I can't remember the last time I did that, to be honest. And there's films of late where like I know Sinners is out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Thought it was a great film. I don't feel in a rush to pick it up because I've seen it twice.
No.
I watched it myself. I then watched it with Lim. That's kind of ticked the boxes for now, and I don't feel the need to. I don't know what's changed in me because that wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever at one point.
No.
At one point, I was still going, love that film. I've got to have it in the collection. It needs to go on there. But now I'm kind of feeling like, will I actually watch it in the next 3 months, 6 months? And if not, does it need to sit there waiting for me?
Well, Sinners in 4K, I nearly actually picked up when I was away. It was on iTunes, and I think it's on iTunes at $13.99. And Sinners 4K on Amazon, because it's new, it's $24.99. And I'm thinking, if I'd have picked it up there, would I have bothered with that physical copy? And then think, yeah, it's a movie I really enjoyed. I want to add it to the collection. But then you think, if I've got it on digital, will I want to add it to the collection? Even when it comes down to an offer, I'm at a point now that I'll watch the digital again and then think, I'm not going to revisit that for a while, and then just leave it. And it just doesn't get added to my collection at all.
I did actually look to see, and CEX have already got it listed as £22.
Mm-hmm.
And I've still got CEX vouchers. So I think that's probably one of those titles that if I'm in CEX and it happened to be on the shelf, you know, I'm struggling to get rid of my vouchers because there's not that much that I want to purchase anymore.
No.
Whereas before I'd have gone, oh, I've got vouchers. It's almost like it's free money. So I'd just start picking things up. Oh, I kind of fancy that. I'll probably watch that. And, you know, those shelf fillers that just sit there and do nothing.
When I was away, the first weekend I was there, it was easier first week. And the first weekend I was there, I split away from the area where we were. And I went into a main town. I thought, I'm going to visit HMV, CX, and whatever else the town has got on offer. I thought, I'll see what there is, because I might treat myself. I've been busy. I've done well. I've been working hard. I'm going to treat myself.
I've been a good boy.
And I went to HMV. There was a title that I wanted. And, you know, I enjoyed Nosferatu. You enjoyed Nosferatu. Mm. And I looked at the shelf, and it's still at full price at £24.99. And it kind of burns in a way, because I see the offers 3 for £50, and you start considering, should I buy this at the £25, or should I just wait it out until it's 3 for £50? Because this offer, there's new stuff coming on there all the time. And there's another offer. What was the previous offer before 3 for £50? Was it 2 for £30?
2 for £30, yeah.
Yeah, you know, are these things going to land on the 2 for £30 offer? I'm not going to be able to watch it, so I'm not going to pick it up. And do you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I came away.
Know what you did. Empty-handed.
I jumped onto iTunes, and Nosferatu was on iTunes for $4.99, 4K digitally.
Mm.
So I've bought it. I've bought it digitally, and
still not watched it again.
Not yet. No. No, my time just disappeared, as you know.
Mm.
But yeah, a £5 for the digital, and I'm thinking, is there a place for physical media now at all? Is it going to come time? Am I going to pick this movie up that I really enjoyed that I did want on my shelf, or is
not just that? I mean, my instant thing when you said about that was, you know, the fact that it's £25. Are we now in a mindset where we are so used to HMV sales and Arrow sales, Rare Waves, wherever, that the only reason we buy things straight away or feel the need to is when they are limited editions.
Yeah.
Because we think, oh, well, we've got to get that because it's special because of XYZ, box, poster, whatever. Other than that, if they never released anything as a limited edition, would anybody buy things on the day of release?
See, yeah.
Or would we all go, well, that'll be on an offer in a month's time?
Yeah, I'm with you on there, because a lot of the new releases that are coming out, I'm just not picking up anymore. My focus tends to be on these limited edition re-releases that have got the special treatment over any new releases. I can't remember the last new release that I actually picked up.
Mm.
It's all been about the limited boutique releases and things like that. And iTunes is coming to a place where, just 1 second, I've got my trusty iPad with me, but it's just, yeah, Touch ID. I've lost my chain of thought now.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was good. That was worth it. But it's coming to a place where the newer releases, they're coming on offer for so quickly on iTunes that I'm tending to go for that. So I'm just trying to find an example of what I've been picking up. I think that's what I'm doing. But my iPad.
Well, not just that. On the limited edition front, I've noticed already. Is it the Dark City Standard Edition? Is that out this week or the following week or something? It's very soon.
Yeah.
So all of these things that are limited edition that everybody's clambering for.
On my iPad, these are my recent purchases. I don't know if
embiggen yourself, Phil. Embiggen yourself.
Embiggen myself. I will. I've only got one hand on the. There we go. So I've got Superman, the documentary. Well, Wicker's Pain I've got. I don't think that's even available on physical. Got the Lethal Weapon collection, because the Lethal Weapon on that's 4K. And yeah, you can see Nosferatu on there as well, which was £5. So Wicked's on there as well, because the kids wanted to see it. That's my excuse.
Why is the Roadhouse remake on there, Phil?
It was a double pack on offer, and it was as cheap to get both as it was for one. It was like $4.99 or something like that for both of them. So
not
it's
good enough
digital.
reason. Not good enough. Not good enough reason. Not good enough. Not good enough.
But yeah, and the beauty of it is with the iTunes ones, which is perhaps what keeps me away from some of the physical media, but the extras are on there. If you play it through an Apple device, I can access the extras on the iPad. I can access the extras on the Apple TV. And it's almost like another excuse not to buy the physical, because I've got everything on there. And the extras are sometimes improved over the physical release.
The issue is, as we've always said, you know, buying digital, you don't actually own it.
Yeah.
You are just buying the right to access it, but you never...
Well, when you consider it something like a £5 for that 4K of Nosferatu, if they delete it, if I've watched it, it's like a rental price. So if they do delete it, then I go on and buy the physical. If it still means that much to me.
Assuming they're still making physical, because you've started buying digital, and that might put it all out of business.
Yeah.
All
true.
on you. All on you.
True. But yeah, let me jump back to the comments, because I've been ignorant to people at the moment. So yeah, we'll catch up on those. I did notice a comment earlier saying no Superman spoilers. So if we do discuss Superman, we'll not go into spoilers on it.
What spoilers?
Big J says, give us a clue to the film that you was working on, please. Big J, I would love to, but I cannot. I had to sign an agreement to say I wouldn't share a thing. So I haven't done. And it may come over time. There may be signs, there may be comments dropped, but you'll have to pay attention and be aware.
I'll give you a clue. It was called Busty Betty's Ball Bag Bonanza. And Phil stars in it.
Yes.
As Busty Betty.
AJ Pink, maybe worth stripping down to the essentials then. Oh, okay. Recently got rid of
Busty Betty's on it again.
Recently got rid of 50 titles. I'll tell you what, AJ, this has been a consideration of mine. I know it has been a consideration of Glenn's, but this room's pretty solid with what I keep in there. The other room through there where I've got part of my collection is Pig's Ear. It's a mess of titles, and yeah, I do need to pull that down and stick to the essentials, because I'm building quite a decent digital catalogue, and most of the stuff that I have on digital, they aren't massively important movies to me. If they are massively important movies, generally I will have them and I will buy them. I don't know if you still think the same, Glenn, or...
Yeah, I mean, my collecting's completely changed. I know I always come out with in here, you know, if the place was on fire and you had to run in and you could only grab 10 titles or whatever, what would they be? And they should be kind of your main focus.
Hey,
randomly, I sent you a James Gunn interview, didn't I?
About to say, haven't you stolen that from a James Gunn interview?
No, I've said it numerous times on there before. I said to you, and then he came out with it. If the video shop was on fire, what 3 titles would he grab straight away and save?
Yeah.
I'm going to go through my titles again, and I'm going to take them all off the shelves and then start putting back in order of, you know, can't be without.
Yeah.
Things like the Indiana Jones movies and what else would be up there? Psycho, things like that. I would say the Mission Impossible movies, but I'm still quite... The more I think back to the last 2, the more disappointed I was with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, need to prioritise a little bit.
Yeah. Would you, when you're sorting through, would you consider what is available digitally as well when you're making your decision, or is it just a matter of just keeping your favourites and keeping a slimline collection?
I think it would literally just be a slimline collection.
Yeah.
What is my favourite? Because realistically, what are ultimately my favourite movies, I know I do want on physical.
Yeah.
I want them there forever. A little bit for, you know, what I was just saying about digital. You never actually own it.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that physical copy there that you can hold on to and leave on the shelf, gathering dust and never put in your machine. But it's there if you ever wanted to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jerry Cheer says the math ain't mathing like this stream now. And at some point, AJ taking the crown from Jeremy for top commenter. We've got some big J says like and subscribe. AJ Pink, we're coming back a little bit, Glenn. So I'm not sure what this refers to, but I agree, Glenn. That's why I removed them all from the shelves and had them in stacks and re-added one by one, asking myself questions whether to keep or not.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing, AJ.
Yeah. Anthony says, I know it happens all the time in Florida where it's rain almost every afternoon during the summer for the cutouts, I think.
Yeah, it's just gone crazy. It's gone really, really dark very quickly here, which it obviously hasn't been doing. It's July, but...
Jeremy says, less time you have or busier you are, the smaller collection you need. And yeah, I agree.
think that's a lot of it. You know, you were really busy for those 2 weeks. While I was away for 2 weeks, I didn't miss having a physical media collection, but, you know, we were with other people and socializing and going out places, and we'd just catch a bit of TV when we're in, really.
Yeah.
I didn't miss it. We just didn't have time to miss it.
Over those couple of weeks, I struggled to get through this final season of Squid Game. I actually finished it off on the plane journey home. I just couldn't get it all in. It just wasn't enough time, and I didn't have enough energy.
On that subject, what did you actually think of the final season?
I don't know how much more I've got left of the last episode. I think we're literally into the minutes, but I sort of got cut off when the plane landed. So I don't know.
I thought you just said you'd finished it.
I pretty much did. It had come to an end, and it was just like laying seeds or wrapping up several different story threads. And I was like, well, do we need 7 endings? But yeah, I think I think it's a victim of its own success with the first season. I think the creators wanted to take it somewhere. Netflix perhaps didn't want to allow that for the audience. So I think they were probably held back, and it shows. I don't think it went where it intended going. Personally, I was a bit disappointed. It was okay. It had moments that I really enjoyed, but overall, they just seemed to flounder and let a lot of story threads just drift into the nether.
I found it, you know, although even in the first season, it was dark in the respect of, you know, people died doing these games and whatever. But there was something still kind of light about it, and entertaining and fun, and you were kind of wondering where it was going. And the last season just felt really dark and down and depressing, I felt.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly like it, if I'm honest. I was glad to get it done with and watched.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Ismac, when life and work get out of control, just 1 second. You read it, Glenn. I've got to shut my window.
When life and work get out of control, I find it comforting. I can come home and control my collection. Where they go, what I watch, give me a sense of calm and happiness.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I think if it remains calm, I think sometimes the collection depends how you keep it, depends how you store it and what you have. But I think it's when you get to that hoarding the collection and it's overspilling, that sense of calm and happiness with your collection, it can grow into something else that perhaps affects.
Mine was, I mean, when mine was upstairs on those bookcases, it was just completely out of control. They weren't, you know, they're fairly lined up and not too bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
The other ones were just stacked on their side, and there was piles here, there, and everywhere, and it was just, it got too much, which is why, you know, me as a collector, when I think about it, probably changed before we started doing these live streams, because my big call kind of happened before all of this.
Yeah.
And that was to condense them right down, which became this. And it's funny that even though this looks a little more in control and orderly, it now feels too much to me.
Yeah.
And I think the smaller and smaller the collection gets, the smaller and smaller you almost want it to get.
Yeah.
so it feels sensible.
I get
And
you.
this one doesn't.
Yeah, I get you. I feel better in this room now. I've cleared a load of stuff out. The other room's another matter, but yeah, being in here is a lot calmer than it used to be because there are less. I've still got a good collection, but it's at a state now that I am happy with what is in here. It doesn't bring me stress, and yeah, I can feel calm in here now rather than when I had stuff piled off the shelves and everything. Kirk Redgate, I think Sinners was all right, but not one I'd revisit much. I'm skipping the 4K. That's fair. Sinners, personally, Sinners was one of my favourites this year so far. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to a rewatch.
I really enjoyed it on the rewatch, but then you sent me a lot of hatred for it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people enjoying it,
which I'm quite surprised by. I'm not overly sure. It's all right thinking it was okay and stuff like that. I mean, quite entitled to think what you want, but I don't know why people hated it. I don't know what was about it that they hated.
Yeah,
I've just seen generic kind of hatred rather than I didn't like it because of X, Y, and Z. That was all. But yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't.
AJ Pink surprised Sinners is coming out already so fast these days. I think it's out, or is it out already, or is it out tomorrow?
Out tomorrow.
Out tomorrow. There we go.
In the UK.
Blue Corner. I almost never buy any new catalogue titles on release, always waiting on sales. And those sales, they always come. Always come. You might not get a limited edition, but there will be an edition out there in the sales somewhere. I think most stuff, limited or not, is seemingly going to sales. There's not many that sell out that don't end up in a sale before they do.
Well, I had an email. Well, you'll have had it as well. We all will have done if we bought from Rare Waves. They've got an offer on at the moment, and there's the Dark City Limited Edition that's sat in the sale.
Yeah,
there's quite a few of the Arrow Limited Editions are in the sale, so they clearly didn't sell out the way they used to.
Not at all. Sorry, I just got distracted then. Big Chase was just asking, who's got the crown now? So I flicked on. It's Jeremy Carr, still on there, number 1. Ace Mech is number 2, and the Blue Corner is popping in at number 4.
It sounds like you're doing top of the pops.
Yeah.
New entry at number 4, Big Chase. It's coming in.
I will try harder next time. I will try harder. Jeremy Carr says, I buy some things new that aren't limited day one. I've not done that for a while, I don't think.
So just in case anybody isn't actually on their phone and following this is can will that focus? There we go. This is what we're referencing. These little crowns, look. It's very nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Look.
Oh, they've all got crowns. Look at that.
Yeah.
AJ Pink says it's like the Arrow sale comes 4 times a year now. Not interested this time around.
No.
Yeah, there is. They're like the seasonal sales. Each what is it? Winter, spring, autumn, summer, but not in that order.
You literally try to go through the seasons then and struggle.
Yeah, I'm drunk and not thinking straight. It's Big Jace says you bought an iPad, Phil. I've had an iPad for ages, Big Jace. To be honest, when I think when this needs replacing, I'll probably get a MacBook so I can stream easier while I'm away. Because it was difficult to try and get going last Sunday. I didn't understand what I was doing on the app, and I thought I need a laptop or something. So yeah, I think it'll probably get changed for a Mac. But yeah, the iPad's been really, really handy for me, to be honest. The Big J says delete Roadhouse. Fair.
Oh, it's flying away again. Come back. There we go.
Jerry Carr says, example, classic Doctor Who Blu-ray box sets. Though we don't get the limited editions in the US, they still out day one sometimes. One time I didn't. I was stuck waiting 2 months until it was in stock again. Big Jace.
I love the fact neither of us commented on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
I've no idea with Doctor Who. I have no idea with Doctor Who at all. Big Jace says on Phil's Galaxy tablet he has Dirty Dancing. I think Dirty Dancing might be available on that tablet, to be honest. It's it's in there somewhere in the collection, I think. AJ Pink, Do you think there's a risk of digital hoarding as well, though, because it's cheaper and not taking up physical space? Absolutely. And I think it's another thing that I'm guilty of as well, because there are quite a few movies that I'll pick up collections of that I've cleared out on physical. So I picked up the Transformers collection 4K and got rid of the 4K discs that I had of that, the box set, because I thought, yeah, I'm not going to watch that very often, but I feel safer that I've got it in digital. And yeah, it was like a security blanket, just in case.
Yeah,
so
I don't know whether it'll feel like hoarding anyway, because it's out of sight, out of mind, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's not like it's sat on a shelf staring at you, going, "Look how many you've got now." You can just not look.
Exactly. Anthony Lipiello, I'm planning on watching Fantastic Four in theatres. I possibly will.
I'm booked on Thursday to go and see it.
How are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Thursday afternoon.
You're missing out on a lot now, aren't you? I know what you did last summer. Now Fantastic Four. You just, yeah.
Well, you know, moved on, mate. Moved on.
Darren G, physical media is the best. Yeah, okay. It depends what you're quantifying it as. It depends how you're using it. It depends how you're buying it. It depends on a lot of factors. I don't think it's always the best. I think sometimes a digital rental is probably the best. If it's a movie you love, if it's one you want to keep hold of, if it's a certain cut that you don't want destroyed by the studios, if you have it on digital, then yeah, physical is going to be there. But if it's a crappy movie, you don't need it physical. You can just rent it on digital.
Well, talking of crappy movies that you can rent on digital, I rented Megan 2.0.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that is a fine example of something I'm glad I rented, because what a train wreck that was.
Really?
Yeah, it's awful. It really is. He starts off, I know we should be covering this later, what have we watched lately, but it starts off very silly and you think, oh, this might be quite entertaining. And then they add in this real convoluted story and it's just not good. It's awful. But it's the kind of thing you and I would have, if we'd missed it at the cinema, would have probably pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Got a physical copy of. And then been hugely disappointed. And then potentially just gone, oh, I didn't really enjoy that. I'll put it on my shelf anyway, because it can stand next to Megan and it'll look good.
That's it, completing the collection.
Yeah, got to be a completist.
Absolutely. Kirk Redgate. I watched the oldies. 98% of my collection is pre-2000s. I don't feel the need to pick up newer titles. Films nowadays are mostly generic and not that interesting, but I'm happy to stream them.
I genuinely have been thinking about that this week, mainly off the back of Jaws is obviously 50 years old this year. We're still talking about it. It's still iconic. It's still a great movie. You go through 70s, 80s, 90s. It's not all of us being nostalgic about Back to the Future or The Matrix or Taxi Driver or any of these. They are all great movies and they have stood the test of time. And I just don't think we've got any movies of late like that where we'll be talking about them in the next 5 years, let alone the next 50 years.
Yeah.
You know, people can say, you know, they enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine or whatever. Yeah, it's a great film, thoroughly entertaining. Will we be talking about it in 10 years? I doubt it very much.
I don't want to give the topic away particularly, but I messaged you about movies earlier today and a particular decade that I think it was the last great decade for movies and seeing how things are influenced and seeing how things are built and changed and things. And yeah, I am thinking about doing a video on that decade because I really think that was the last great decade of cinema.
Yeah.
But guess is in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they still make good films.
Yeah.
But like I say, there's not... I can't think of anything in the last 10 years that we'll be talking about in... Well, I won't be talking about it in 50 years' time. I'll be dead. But other people will be talking about in 50 years' time. I just don't think they're making those movies.
No, I must agree. The Blue Corner. I can never go full digital. Did almost try a few years back and always return to physical. I keep forgetting what I have in the digital collection. Simply not as important to remember. I don't think I could go full digital. I think
No.
the films that I truly care about, I will always want a copy of, something to represent it on my shelf. It's just a matter of, I know because of digital, I don't need to keep as much as I did of the other stuff in between. I don't know how many I would keep for a perfect size collection, but I know it doesn't need to be anywhere near as big as I have it at the moment. It's things just aren't getting rewatched. I mentioned earlier that I was flicking through the digital sites while I was working away. I've got the physical discs of some things here, but you're flicking through like Amazon Prime, and there's the new Better Man movie. Do you know the Robbie Williams musical thing from
the monkey? Yeah,
the guy that did Greatest Showman? That's landed on there. It's Accountant 2 I've not watched. Heretic I've not watched yet. Heads of State I'm really looking forward to. And that's 4 or 5. Oh, Warfare's on there as well. And there's 4 or 5 movies that I can not touch my digital collection and watch those.
And the thing is, you need to get them watched as well, because otherwise just more stuff's going to get piled on top of it, and those titles are going to get pushed further and further back.
If I keep buying more physical, they get buried. Lynn next door, or Lynn in the other room, should I say? Much preferred digital. It's nothing to do with space. Glenn has his stuff nicely tucked away. I just think the convenience of digital is amazing.
My pants are quite tight.
AJ Pink, yeah, digital is convenient. One remote device to access it all. Yeah, I think we're getting to a point that as much we're all physical media collectors, are we not? Yes, we are. So
yes, Phil.
It's not an easy conversation to have, but I think we're at a point now. I don't know if we can all agree, but I think it's good to find a balance between digital and physical. We don't need to own it all physically. Digital can be an option, a cheaper option, a different option. Just it doesn't have to be all physical. It doesn't have to be all digital. I think we've got to balance a line.
You're saying, do we need to own everything? We don't need to own everything full stop anyway, to be honest.
No.
You're saying something like Warfare, for example.
Yeah.
You'll watch that. Will you watch it again in 2 weeks' time, a month's time, 2 months' time? No.
Yeah.
So even if you like it, you'll probably just end up watching it again on streaming because it's there at the touch of a button. We don't need to own everything, whether it's digital or physical.
That's it. Definitely. Sorry, I'm just flicking through the comments. AJ Pink, I think this is to do with Squid Games. Is it good? Not a big TV show fan. Only really liked Twin Peaks, Westworld, House of Cards, and True Detective.
A little bit like, True Detective is a fine example. First season only, really. And I would say the same with Squid Game, to be honest.
Yeah.
The second season, they take it in a different direction, which I think is quite a logical direction that they go in. But then I just don't think the payoff was there in season 3 at all, to be honest. It's a real shame. But
that's right. Jerry Cheer says, I'd watch LA Confidential again before Sinners. LA Confidential, I've been lingering around wanting to rewatch on that quite a lot for the past few months. Never got to it, but it is one that I think I want to watch that again.
Good film.
I think it was good as well. H-Mac, Sinners was just a remake of From Dusk Till Dawn, but with more dancing. I don't know if there was more dancing. Yeah,
I did describe it as Deep South From Dusk Till Dawn, really.
Yeah. I'd agree with that also. Charlie85 says, buying early guarantees a slipcover, though. That's one thing. One of my purchases I picked up, perhaps swayed by the fact that it still had a slipcover. I'll show you that in a moment. Ethan Schneider. I'm honestly to the point where I just want my top 30 to 50 favourite films. Anything more than that looks like clutter to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It amazes me when you, and all of you will have probably experienced this. As soon as you say, oh yeah, I'm a film fan, a bit of a film geek, somebody will straight away go to you, what's your favourite film?
Yeah.
You can't pin it down to one, I don't think.
And it changes as well, depending on mood and
Yeah, I'd struggle to say a top 10, I think.
yeah, I'm with you. Dunkin' Donuts, I thought Sinners was fantastic. There's one or two spots that didn't ethically sit right with me, but it was great. Also, being an advent listener of blues music, it was really great to see some representation. I think it's the 4K limited editions that sell out quicker. Can't get Dark City anymore at all. And all of the Dollars trilogy sets are totally sold out. I thought there's a section in Sinners where it goes music heavy, and I was really unsure of it for a minute, but then the scene started to kick in, and you think this is absolutely genius.
Did you go to the cinema to watch it? I can't remember.
Yeah, I went with you.
Oh yeah, you did. Put it out of my mind that much. Yeah, that scene that you're referencing, I know which you mean straight away. It ever so slightly took me out of the film for a moment. I don't want to say what it is because of people that haven't seen it, but it's very. It takes you a moment to get your head around it, really. Yeah. I think, and then you go, okay, I totally get what they were doing there, and then you can kind of get on with the rest of the film. But it's quite jarring for a minute.
Yeah, I think so as well. The Blue Corner says, "Wonder what Phil's channel is in a year. With his decline on physical, it can't still be about that.
He'll just be sat in an empty cardboard box."
Yeah. I'm sure there'll still be other habits and things like that to talk about, which, it tends to be the psychology of collecting that I tend to go around and, it might be about movies. It might, I don't know.
We'll if you're sat in a cardboard box, it might be about
in a cardboard box.
Meth addiction. Who knows? We can still tie it into Breaking Bad, so don't worry. It's all fine.
That went really dark really quick.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Jerry Carr, just venting as Fantastic Four comic and cartoon fan of the movies I do like, but unfortunately they're mid or less. I hope this new one is good.
Yeah, I can't say I'm like really excited about this new one, and I'm sick of seeing Pedro Pascal in absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give it a try. I've got another year's cinema pass, so as of you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of feels free in that respect.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying getting back to the cinema more and seeing things. And that's, if I hadn't have seen the new I Know What You Did Last Summer at the cinema, that's the kind of thing I would have pre-ordered.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it to know there is not a chance in hell that will ever sit on my shelf.
Yeah.
Absolute travesty of a film. But anyway.
Tom Gurdon. Made my first pre-order in ages. It's probably the only film I've been waiting for and one of my last must-haves. Master and Commander.
I did notice that in the week. Yeah, it's got very nice artwork to it as well.
And you know what? It's a movie I've not ever seen.
Oh.
I keep hearing good things about it, but I've never actually sat and watched it. Anyway, John Robinson.
On your list?
I was looking forward to Megan 2.0. It's a shame they decided to change the whole direction from the first one. I think,
yeah, they really do. And like we said in the week, Blumhouse and what have you have kind of come out since the cinema release and said we've probably not quite read the room properly as to how popular this character is and what direction we should have gone in and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Dunkin' Donuts. Sometimes I buy a movie physically, don't like it, want to sell it, then it won't sell even for cheap, but I can't throw it away either. Digital renting is nice sometimes. Yeah, I find that you tend to keep hold of things just because you're not going to get much money back from it, and then they just sit around cluttering the place up. Big Jay says, Phil, your thumbnail, why do you have Glenn carrying your piles of movies? Living without physical media is removing them for me.
Yeah, and I'm clearly a slave, absolute dog body.
Jerry Cheer, first time back in the cinema in 20 years, saw Superman. It was good. I also enjoyed it.
First time back in the cinema in 20 years. Wow.
The Blue Corner, I've watched 14 2025 release movies so far. Not many of them I feel a single rush to get into the collection.
No.
I don't feel in a rush to get them in the collection. There's a couple I wouldn't mind seeing again. There's probably 3 that I've seen this year that I wouldn't mind seeing again. Potentially 4, which are Nosferatu, Companion, I wouldn't mind watching again. Sinners, and I wouldn't mind watching Drop with my wife, because I wouldn't say it was a great film. It was okay. I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Don't want it in the collection, but I know it's one that will mess her up just from the tense bits of it, because it is quite tense in moments, and I like seeing when a film can give someone a reaction. So I just wanted to watch it just to see her reaction more than
So
anything.
you just want to mess up your wife.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think you did that by marrying her, to be honest.
She, I say that she was a bit tearful at Superman as well. Which,
like I said to you, I welled up through Superman.
Yeah.
Even just the opening, as soon as the themes just started kind of coming in, I got like goosebumps and what have you. And
yeah. Tom Gordon says, I agree with Glenn. People will still watch The Godfather in 200 years. They won't be watching anything made in the last few years.
No, it's very true.
Dunkin' Donuts, I'm 22 years old and have no nostalgia for a lot of these 70s to 90s movies. They just have an essence of greatness that you don't find in a lot of newer stuff. Maybe F1 and Maverick. See, I don't rate Top Gun Maverick that much.
No, I don't.
I'm sorry. I know it did absolute bonkers box office, and it's got a lot of love, but I didn't see that much to it. I thought it was okay. I just wasn't blown away like a lot of people was. Unpopular opinion, possibly, but
no, it did very little for me, to be honest. F1, I wanted to watch, and it's slowly slipping by. If I can get to see it this week, I will do. But like I said, I've got Fantastic Four on Thursday, so I'm not sure when I'd fit it in, to be honest.
AJ's got fantastic. Would be interested in seeing Fantastic Four, but it's also sick of seeing Pedro Pascal everywhere.
The guy's in everything. He's just. Yeah.
Jeremy Carr reckons the first Iron Man will be talked about, every Spider-Man and Batman, because they're the two most popular comic heroes worldwide, allegedly.
I don't know. Not in the same vein as we're talking, like was just mentioned, The Godfather. And the thing is, you're going to have things like Spider-Man, Batman, all this kind of thing. You have a new iteration all the time.
Yeah.
We talk about Superman as in the Christopher Reeve Superman. The new Superman with Corin Sweat, that'll be a lot of people's very first Superman.
Yeah.
It'll be their very first cinema experience of a Superman. And things like The Godfather will always be The Godfather. I don't think anybody would ever dare attempt to remake it. But, somebody's probably stupid enough to try.
I'm trying to think of, when you're thinking of action films as well, there's action films that from the 90s that stick in my mind far more than any action films we seem to see today. Even though the stunts are bigger, the spectacle's bigger in the newer films, they just don't have the same. I don't know if it's just
the one film that, action film wise, that I think gets talked about more than any other action film for various reasons, and annually gets talked about as well, is Die Hard.
Yeah.
Always talked about. When Christmas comes around, you always end up with a debate, is it a Christmas movie, all that kind of stuff. And I think that will kind of keep that alive.
Yeah.
Not just that it's a really good film and stuff, but I think from the action movie genre, you don't have many of those, what you would refer to as a classic.
Yeah, I think they're getting too big now, to be honest. I mean, the simplicity of something like Leon or Speed from the 90s, they're movies that have still stuck with me. I don't know if they still carry for a modern audience or not, but they're the action movies that stick in my mind. They're not massive explosion spectacle like some of them could be, but they just had something more about them for me. But again, it could be my age.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Tom Gurdon, although I think it's different now, I watched Den of Thieves Pantera the other day, and I honestly think if it was made 30 years ago, it would be talked about as a classic. As it is, it will just be.
It would just
be. I saw the first Den of Thieves. I thought that was particularly average. I've not gone in for the new one yet. Have you been interested?
Nope.
Nope. Very good.
Move on.
Dunkin' Donuts. I don't think Nolan's Batman is aging the greatest, to be honest. The latter two feel like such a generic 2000 action movies to me. Most people I know feel the same. Ledger was absolutely brilliant, though. I don't think I've watched Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises for quite a number of years now. May have to
I
revisit.
was not a fan of Dark Knight Rises at all.
No.
I think it just fell so short. You know, you can put it down to numerous things. I know Nolan was intending to carry on with Heath Ledger's Joker, and obviously with his sad demise, that didn't come to be. So it was a real change up of things, but it just didn't hit for me at all.
Fair.
Mm.
Charlie 85. I used to spend £20 a week in Blockbuster, and the fact that they had to go back and force me to watch them, unlike the purchases I make now, which just sit there. I think that's a big difference as well when the Blockbuster disappears, because it changed from renting to buying. Digital rental wasn't as much of a thing then, I don't think, or if it was, the quality was piss poor. So I think it moved to that purchase, and yeah, the whole collecting thing came about from building more and more because you couldn't actually rent them. Do you think that's partially what caused your collecting overkill, or do you think it was just because they were available more freely?
It was just a different life, to be honest. It was just disposable income and, you know, various factors, really. But yeah, film geek, that's all I had going on. And now the older you get, the more life throws at you, the more things you have going on, and it's not so much priority. But yeah, I mean, we both obviously worked at Blockbuster, and I was saying to Lynn the other night that I remember that when you had a new release come out, you weren't allowed to rent it yourself for like the first week or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the stock had to be there in case customers wanted it. But if you were on a close and then you were on an open, you took that film home that night and watched it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that prevented me from buying. This is why I want to look at the digital rental thing a lot more, because I know that most of the films that I was buying, I shouldn't have been buying it. This should have been rentals. And it was a mistake I made, and one that was kind of unavoidable in a way if I wanted to watch the latest movie.
I'm hoping the combination of more cinema visits,
that's
seeing more things before they've even hit kind of home rental or anything. And then, like I say, I'm really glad I rented Megan 2.0 the other day and didn't purchase it because it was god awful. And I know it's a movie I'll never ever watch again.
So Big Jace says, don't get a choice with Netflix, no chance of owning titles. Bet people will be annoyed that Happy Gilmore 2 won't be available to buy. Well, I don't know. I don't own Happy Gilmore. It's not a movie I'd repeat watch, to be fair.
I think I do own it.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a choice whether you own or not, and it'd be nice to have a choice whether you could rent it or subscribe to get access to it. I think we're just lacking choice in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere like Netflix, they kind of want to, like you always say, keep things behind the paywall and give you a reason to keep subscribing.
Yeah.
Even though this month, for the first time in I don't know how many years I've had a Netflix account, I've actually cancelled my Netflix account.
I'm on the edge. Kids still watch it though. They've been watching it today, so it's like it just keeps me going. Jeremy Carr says, I need the exercise of putting in discs. Just saying. Okay. Slot Professor, the issues with digital is the same issue you have with game providers. Many times you can have what you think you own taken away from you with no return. Yeah, it just depends how you view the digital collection. Like I say, this is why I would always own the films that I care about physically. But I understand that having a digital collection, that all of it can be pulled away, and I'm quite prepared for that to happen. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I know it's a possibility.
In one way, though, if you feel the film isn't worthy of you buying a physical media copy, is it even worth owning on digital?
Well, I've been buying on digital to watch them, so they should have been rentals. But sometimes when the offers come up on iTunes, you just buy them instead of renting them. It's like with what did I just purchase? So Nosferatu, it was the same price to buy that as it was to rent it, and what was my Wick is Pain? That was the same price to rent as it was to buy. So yeah, I just buy it and it'll sit in there.
I did notice you got Wicked on there as well.
Yes, Wicked was on there. It was one of my guilty pickups while I was away. The kids, my youngest wanted to watch Wicked. So because I'd got the working away shame and guilt, I picked him up Wicked on digital because it was like £6, I think it was on offer for. But along with that, they also got a Minecraft movie and Despicable Me 4 as well. So
I'm sorry, but why do you feel guilty? You're actually away working, earning money. What are they doing?
Well,
are they bringing anything into the house whatsoever? No.
Pain and suffering.
Shame on them. Shame on them.
I've got a Huck's Pop Culture Cafe with us as well, or Cafe.
Hey, Huck.
Just flicking through the comments again. Sorry, I've lost rhythm now. Big J says, anyone buying Crocodile Dundee Encore Edition? I didn't own Crocodile Dundee, to be fair, so new edition. I'm not going to go in for that for. Are you bothered anymore about Crocodile Dundee? Or,
no, not at all.
No.
Don't get me wrong, they're entertaining. They were entertaining at the time. Are they entertaining now? Maybe, probably are, but not enough that I need to own it.
Big J, any news on the Dogma re-release yet? No.
Umbrella Entertainment in Australia have said they've got the rights to the 4K release.
I think it's expected
they will be doing a nice box set later in the year, apparently.
Yeah, I think it's expected to be Lionsgate in the US. I don't know them. I'm not sure. Slot Professor. Recently, the prices of Blu-ray have gone through a huge change. I've seen multiple 4Ks as low as £4 to buy off CEX. Normal Blu-rays are extremely low and easy to pick up for 20p each or less. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the Blu-rays are dropping quicker in prices as well. I picked up Abigail from CEX, but I did actually check if it was available on Amazon, and I think it had already dropped to like a tenner on Amazon. But they've also plonked it into an offer with I think it was Jurassic World, the new one, and not the newest one. One of the Jurassic World ones. It was like in the £3 for £20 one. It's they just seem to drop quicker and quicker.
Is it Dominion, the one before?
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah,
not very one. Dean Watson. How about films? 3 reasons in descending order. 1, I love the film. 2, it's a substantial upgrade in quality to what I have. 3, has either 1 and 2, and the artwork box set is beautiful. I don't tend to focus much on the artwork anymore.
No, I'm trying not to, because it's literally.
I think how many times have we sort of ripped each other for when we're looking at editions and said to each other, well, you kind of started this, but how many times do you look at a box, buy the poster? And it's true. Fine.
Oh, yeah, but the artwork on the box set is amazing. Yeah, but you're paying an extra £20 for it.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a poster of it if you love the artwork that much.
Yeah.
You don't need a folded poster in a box the way you only see the spine. I mean, some people will display it otherwise.
Yeah.
It's interesting you said about the price drops, though, and what have you. And I said before, which I actually got criticised for, was saying that the thing is, everything's shifting now, and age-wise, your kids only really know digital.
Yeah.
They've got kind of no interest in going out and buying physical media or anything like that. They might do one day, but, it's not how the world is now. And unfortunately, the physical media collectors, us, are getting older, and we're shifting along type of thing, and this new digital age is now coming in, and the call probably isn't there as much for physical discs. You will get we can do thumbs down as well now. Look at you. Things will make a comeback. Of course they will. Vinyl made a comeback, and yay. But I just wonder if it's where we are at the minute. We're in this weird kind of lull where, yes, people are still collecting, but it's not the only option anymore.
Yeah. Fair. Dunkin' Donuts. I think a lot of us have such distaste for streaming that we swing too far the other end of having giant Blu-ray collections that aren't necessary for most of us. Fair point. I think sometimes that does come into play. I don't know if I've mentioned digital before, and I get shot down a lot for it. But I do think it's a valid thing to form part of how we view movies. At the end of the day, the movie and the content is king. We buy the physical media because they're movies that we love, the movies that we want to keep hold of. But how we initially watch them, we can watch them digitally. If we want that movie or care about it enough, then we're collectors. We will add it to our collection. So why not have that digital option in the meantime or alongside, or use the digital option for the things?
There's a place for it. There is.
I do know. Asked me 10 years ago, I would have disagreed because I really don't think that digital was up to much streaming wise. But now with the Apple TV box, I think it stands pretty solid. It's not going to compete.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say it's not going to compete quality-wise to having that physical 4K disc because of the compression and things, but it does a bloody good job. It really does.
It does. It does. I'm doing this especially for Big Jace because it annoyed him earlier. There we go. I can't help it, Jace. It's super. It keeps flying around.
Master and Commander, Russell Crowe's greatest performance, in my opinion. The sound has always been referenced, and the new Atmos could be insane. Very good. Hook. Just saw F1 and thought it was pretty great. The sound and cinematography was amazing.
Yeah, I think I am going to try and push and see it at the cinema.
I really
want to lose a lot being at home, but
depending how I am next week, it could be the movie that I go for in the week. To be honest, it might be a bit late, so I might not be able to stay awake through it. But yeah, I do really want to see it. But I don't know if I've left it too late with being busy. It's just the way it goes. Gary Robb, Phil, I prefer the feeling of owning my favourite films on physical media. I like to see them daily on my shelf. With streaming, I don't own anything. This is what we're saying. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine to own your films on physical media. You don't need to own it all physical media. With streaming, it's an option to have alongside it, or if you have the understanding that it could disappear or be changed. But I must admit, some of the changes that have come with my digital collection, I've mainly seen the changes come in the form of the extras, where they've added extras on them.
Extras, and then things that we've bought in HD have had a free 4K upgrade as well.
Yeah. But yeah, like us, the physical media collections, my favourites will always be here. And there's no two ways about that. I'm not pulling down the collection and living without it at all. But I could live without it if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I want to support. I want to, my favourite films, I want them to have that support and people to know that, yeah, this is popular for a reason. But I'd rather not be buying anything and everything, because I don't want to send signals to the studios that I want another Transformers movie from Michael Bay. So I won't buy those movies because I don't want another Transformers movie from Michael Bay.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you are getting a new Transformers movie from Michael Bay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I sort of pulled that as an example. But it's because they sell. And stop buying crap movies on physical media. Buy good movies, physical media. That's what I would say now.
I think you're only kind of really upset because that means they're going to kick Mark Wahlberg to the curb.
I know.
You love Mark Wahlberg, you stado.
Fair.
Technically, you love Marky Mark.
Yeah, technically. Going right back to that Reese Witherspoon's movie, Fear. Hook. The first movie of the year I added to my collection was Companion. Great flick. I would mention that earlier, Hook, as well. It's one of the films this year that I do want to revisit. And there's not many of them.
I would agree with what you said regarding Companion, Sinners. I'd probably add Superman in there. I thoroughly enjoyed Superman. What else did we say? Companion, Sinner. Oh, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ace Mac says there's only one Superman, and that's Mr. Reeve. Yeah, we're not going to get him back, though. I want Superman stories. I don't mind them coming out with something someone else. But
I'm sorry, we're not getting him back.
No.
Oh,
Dunkin' Donuts, I didn't love the new Superman, didn't hate it. I think I was just expecting something truly great with gravitas like the refilms, as cheesy as those are. New one felt like typical modern superhero. That cuts out. AJ Pink, not seen Superman yet. We'll watch it when it's streaming or somewhere, or rent it digitally. That's fair. Jeremy says Moonstruck will be talked about forever. I've never seen it, Jeremy.
won't, Jeremy.
Hook, it will always be tough for any Superman actor to top Christopher Reeve's performance. He's the only one to portray both Clark and Superman to perfection. And back to some of our classics. Leon is virtually perfect from Jeremy Carl.
Nothing with Superman, though, whoever did it first. That's like saying, you know, although Daniel Craig has a lot of love, Sean Connery will always be the best Bond. Well, he was the first. It's kind of, if it hadn't been Christopher Reeve and it was somebody else, that's the performance we'd have all seen as the first performance properly in a big film as Superman and Clark Kent.
Yeah.
You know, I loved him. He was my Superman growing up and what have you, but I think I was so glad James Gunn and Corin Sweat presentation of Superman was back to that positive, as you've always described in Big Blue Boy Scout kind of thing, and they even refer to him in there as the Boy Scout and things. And it needed to be back to that positive thing, because don't get me wrong, I like Snyder's movies, but that wasn't Superman as we know and love Superman, I don't think. But I'm not getting into the whole Snyder debate.
No, that's not worth.
No.
Anymore.
We haven't got time. We haven't got days.
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts, odd for someone my age, but I don't really love action movies as a whole. I like some of the older grounded ones. My parents love Jason Bourne. I find those annoying. So I like Jason Bourne as well. But then I'm probably old enough to be your dad. Possibly.
Granddad.
It's the grey, isn't it? It's all the grey.
Yeah.
AJ Pink says, I think Transfers will be talked about forever. By Jeremy.
Yeah. That and Howard the Duck.
Yes. Jeremy says, Transfers and Howard the Duck, of course.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Kate Redgate, Batman Returns is my favourite. Don't make them like they used to. Tom Gurdon, simplicity is the key. I don't know who it is that thinks we need bigger and louder all the time. It's the analysts with the spreadsheets that see what makes the money, who makes the money, and they put everything together and equal template. Well,
it's Michael Bay.
Yeah,
he's making it. You know, he leads it bigger and louder all the time. Bigger, louder, sillier. Bayism.
I made this. Dark Knight Rises, while I agree, was a downgrade from The Dark Knight. Part of it was trying to cram too much into one film and ended up like a series of montages. It still had some great aspects, though.
Yeah, I mean, I
don't think you've revisited it, have you?
I have done in the past, but
have you?
You know, Tom Hardy's Bane didn't work for me, to be honest. And what's the face? Marianne Cotillard as well, I think, is really miscast in that film. Apart from her dying scene, which will go down in history as one of the worst ever.
Oh yeah. Where is the trigger? Eli Cortez is with us as well. Good evening, Eli. Hope you're well.
Hey, Eli.
We've got Cinema San. Hi, Phil and Glenn. Can you guys be followed on Letterboxd or not interested? I'm on Letterboxd, but I'll be honest, I very rarely update it. I'll go through periods when I think, I've got to update everything so I can see my stats at the end of the year, and then a week passes and no.
I need something to do because I've got so much time on my hands. So maybe I'll join Letterboxd. Maybe that can be my new thing. Who knows?
Do it. Hook's Pop Culture Cafe again. Hook says, speaking of Netflix, I'm still bummed we only have Knives Out on physical media, but the sequel is not. Glenn,
thank you, Hawk. Thank you, Hawks. You're a Knives Out fan right here. I have Knives Out up there somewhere, and I keep praying they're going to do Glass Onion. I'm hoping with Wake Up Dead Man coming out, you know, it's getting a cinema release. Oh, it's opening the London BFI Film Festival.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I'd love to go down and get in for that, but as to whether I can or not, who knows?
Yeah. AJ Pink, I think F1 is getting a physical release through Warner's. Luckily, otherwise it would be stuck on there. Which I assume
it was an Apple original, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be some kind of deal there somewhere. Chris Gill says, sounds like they got the better deal of that right there, Phil. I'm not sure what that refers to.
No, I'm not now.
I've lost track. Sorry, I was a bit slow with that one. Slipknot, did you guys see Jurassic World Rebirth? I thought it was pretty good. The Mosasaur and Distortus Rex scenes were great, and the exotic locations were beautiful. Well worth going to the cinema to see.
Can I just say, hi, Slipknot?
Yeah, hi, Slipknot. I was meant to go and see Jurassic World Rebirth. I was meant to take my eldest to the cinema, but because I was working away, my wife took him instead, so I missed out on that trip. And I don't know if it's going to get a look in. It might end up being home release that I catch it. But yeah, there's too many other things coming out now, and it's just going to disappear into the nether again because I've not caught it on the opening week, and it's gone. Sim Meows a lot is with us as well. Good evening, Sim Meows a lot.
He's meows a lot. Meow.
Jerry Chia, apparently the Day of the Dead camera negative has been found. 4K coming from Scream Factory. Of course it's Scream Factory.
Of course it is.
They've got everything now in the US. There's not many labels that are competing with them for their major titles.
Horror stuff, really. No.
Kate Redgate, I was going to my local video shop. The best days, the owner would put aside new releases for me so I could rent a few days early. It's now been a homeware shop for 15 years. Sad to see.
I mean, the fact you know how long it's been a homeware shop says how much you miss it, really.
My local Blockbuster has turned into a fish and chip shop. So, yeah, that's a big change. Big change.
Mine is, sorry, excuse me. If we're all having a go as to what our local Blockbuster has turned into, I'm having my go. Mine's my local Vets. There we go. We can move on now.
Yeah, Slipknot fan. Do you guys like California Man starring Brendan Fraser, Sean Astin, and Pauly Shore?
I think you mean Encino Man.
Encino Man,
surely. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I can't say I ever wanted to revisit it from its VHS days. Yeah, I thought it was okay, but nothing really dragged me to want to watch it again and again or anything like that.
I feel like that was genuinely a rental when I was at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was possibly at the same time. I did see it in the 80s video shop again, and I thought, oh, maybe I should give it another try. And I went and bought Blast from the Past instead for Brendan Fraser.
Which you can add to your long list of things that still need to be watched.
Yes. Andy Berry, having anything physical, books, clothes, media, technology helps people feel engaged, but it can be overwhelming. If you love it, keep it. If you don't love it, get rid.
100%.
Yeah. Jeremy, if piracy was more cracked down on, I'm sure physical would do better with the younger crowd. Yeah, I think there's certain things with the piracy that's made it so easy for so many, and it's just become normal for some people. The way that things in the UK, there's people that will buy Amazon Fire Sticks, and they can be hacked and done whatever with, and it gives them access to absolutely everything. As people that I work with, I'd say 50% have got these Fire Sticks, and it's business as normal. I'll go into work. I went into work on Friday, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to see Superman at the weekend." And what do they go? "Oh, yeah, I watched that at home the other day. It's on my stick," and it's just normal. It's in conversation. It's part of an everyday thing for so many people.
Yeah, but is that an actual copy, or is that like a cam thing in the cinema?
I don't know. I assume it's a cam thing. I'm assuming she'll watch anything, but yeah, she didn't go to the cinema. That's 100%. But yeah,
the way the director intended it to be seen on a small screen, recorded on somebody's phone.
Yeah. It's but
you look now. I mean,
it's in the zeitgeist. It's in the public thing that it's just a normal thing to have one of these sticks.
I know they're always looking out for it, but I'm amazed the amount of dodgy recorded, filmed in cinema stuff there is on YouTube, and Twitter's constant with screenshots or actual footage that's been shot in a cinema.
Yeah.
It's rife. And yeah, my cinema, I know full well it's got actual so they're obviously very discreet with it, because my cinema's got like cameras on you while you're in the auditorium and what have you.
Yeah.
So they're obviously very, very secret squirrel about it.
Obviously. Ace Mac says, I genuinely believe Phil and Glenn have been brainwashed over digital and wish them well. Here we go. Yeah, it's not brainwashing. It's just the realities of what we're going through at the minute. We don't need everything physical. I still buy physical movies. I still will.
I've made far too many mistakes of blind buying in the past, and it being stuff that I've gone, no, that was mediocre. And then if you get rid of it quick enough, then you'll probably get something back from CEX where you kind of feel like, well, I've only really paid that amount to almost rent it, to view it.
Yeah.
But if it, I think we're all guilty of, I didn't particularly like that, but it still goes on the shelf. And then within like 3 to 6 months or whatever, when you actually go back through your shelves and you go, why have I still got that there? I'm not going to watch that again. It's worth nothing. So, like I say, something like Megan, I'm so glad I rented that rather than buying it, because it would have been a blind buy. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah. Dean Watson, the irony of discussing about the pros and cons of physical versus digital on a digital stream. Released the 4K of the stream, Phil, in deluxe limited edition steelbook releases with slipcover.
Well, I think you are doing, aren't you? At the end of the year, you're packaging all of them, and then we will be sending them out. Yeah, biscuit tin edition with a fold-out poster of Phil's face, limited edition of 3 copies, because that's all we can afford to get produced.
And Nicholas Dickens is with us as well. Hello, finally got to my phone to watch it. On the TV in the kitchen doing the dishes. Hello, everyone.
I feel like Nicholas, very, very often, Nicholas is on with us, and he's always like doing the dishes or ironing or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Tier, Companion 4K from Amazon US was awesome. Big J says Marky Mark with a double M. Jerry says, Phil and my younger brother are the only big Mark Wahlberg fans I know. I like him, but damn.
Yeah, I don't like him. I think he's, other than, let's say, Boogie Nights and Three Kings, I think apart from that, he's pretty, I nearly swore then, he's pretty rubbish. Let's say that, shall we?
Yeah. I must admit that Mark Wahlberg, I'm not a Mark Wahlberg fan as Glenn makes out, but I do like of Mark Wahlberg movies.
As soon as there's a Wahlberg movie out, I can guarantee you will buy it.
I'll watch anything. I won't buy it.
The thing is, you don't watch anything. People will say to Phil, you should really watch this, it's brilliant. And that almost like gets Phil to dig his heels in a bit more. I would do, but there's a straight to Netflix Mark Wahlberg movie on, so I'm going to prioritise that.
And that was directed by Peter Berg, so that's why I wanted to watch that.
Don't care.
Yeah, have it. Eldermap says, I've read somewhere that Blu-ray disc players manufacturers are not making new Blu-ray players or making less systems because of the digital media. I think there'll always be systems made.
I mean,
they're still making DVD players.
Churning out DVD players, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just flicking through comments again because I realise I'm falling quite far behind now. So, Andy Pickering, I love collecting, but I also had to leave the collecting groups on Facebook because I felt some people pick up absolutely everything just to take pictures of them, hardly talk about actual films.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried that I've not talked about actual films much in this stream at the minute.
Well, there's somebody that I often comment on here, and I've sent pictures to you before, and they go to HMV every single Monday. They buy a copy of everything, and I mean everything, every film, every TV series that has come out that day. They buy them and they put them online.
Yeah.
Physical media pickup haul this week, and I wonder whether they actually keep hold of all of them.
Yeah.
Do they, straight away go and trade them in or something? Is it just like for that picture, for that moment? I don't know, because there's no way they watch it. Maybe they do watch it all. Maybe they don't have a job.
Well, Money Win says, have you seen Terrifier yet?
Of course he hasn't.
Still digging my heels in on that one. But there's a new
Yet again, something that for many, many years I said after I'd watched the first Terrifier, Bill, we love horror. Very rarely does low budget independent horror hit this well, the money be spent in the right places, a new horror character come out of nowhere and have a real big impact. You've got to watch Terrifier. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I might get right. No, I don't know. And then we're obviously 3 movies deep now, and no, he's still not watched any of them at all.
Yeah.
Because Mark Wahlberg isn't in it.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Marky Mark the Clown, that's it. You'd have been in straight away.
Duncan Donut says, I think a lot of people are not understanding your compliments to streaming. One thing is never the solution. Streaming and physical together are the ideal, not just physical.
Yeah, correct, Duncan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the thing that people don't, I don't think I'm explaining very well, but back when we were growing up, it was never about purchasing everything, as we've been discussing earlier. It was about renting. And then if you loved the movie, then you would buy it. And now I see digital really as sort of that rental place where then you can decide if you want to buy it. But instead, people are trapped on this side, purchasing absolutely everything because they've not got that sort of rental option. That option's not there. And that's why I think digital can work as some kind of option against the physical media collection. The physical media collection is always going to be the stuff that we absolutely love. But we don't need all of this crap on here that should be rented within our physical collections. There are people that are going to try and collect everything. They do want everything. They want 4 collections of this or that. That's going to happen all the time. But I think on the whole, there needs to be balance between them, and we need to get back to a place where we're not just chasing, buying absolutely everything. Personally, that's my thoughts.
Can you imagine, like, if you were a music collector and the radio didn't exist? So every time an album came out, you blind bought it. You bought it because, well, I've not heard it, but I might like it.
Yeah.
We pick and choose what we like to hear. I'm probably, I'm ignoring the whole digital aspect of music, but we hear things on the radio or, TV or whatever all the time. And that's how we decide what CDs we want to own or vinyl we want to own, if that's the route you want to take.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that option, there would be people that just went in for a blind buy of every single vinyl that ever came out. All we're saying is digital is that option where we can view something and decide whether we want to own it or not, rather than having to blind buy everything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's it. I'm drinking out of Superman again.
A few comments about Terrifier. NCH 103, come on, Phil. Even I've seen Terrifier.
Yeah.
Nicholas Dickens says, even my friend's gran has seen Terrifier. Fair enough. AJ Pink says, I'm similar to you, Phil. If someone strongly recommends something multiple times, I'll dig my heels into. Which is fair enough. One of the things.
It's not fair enough. It's stupid.
One of the things with the physical that, with being away and reliant on digital, I also went with the digital for books as well. I took my Kindle along with me, so I didn't have physical books with me, and I was also digital for that as well. And I tell you what, that was a great option. It's better to have this with me on my travels than having physical books. But that was just another quick option there. I enjoyed it that much on the Kindle, reading things digitally, that I bought a new Kindle when I got back. So there.
I love paperbacks and took paperbacks on holiday with me and read half of one because I didn't get a chance.
I must admit, I do like an actual book, but while I was traveling and while I was in and out of different places and different costumes and things, having the Kindle was just so much easier than having a book with me. It was easier to stash in my pocket or in a small bag to carry around with me, more so than a book.
When you say different costumes, it was mainly lingerie throughout the shoot, though,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I had my sling bag on, and the Kindle just fit nicely into that. So rather than having the big fat physical book, it
just
Kindle
slid into your stocking top. I did perfectly, didn't it?
I did. Obviously, I read Project Hail Mary on the Kindle before I went, and we caught the trailer in the cinema when we went to see Superman. And my eldest boy is really excited for it. I was quite surprised, but the trailer he was really taken with.
Okay.
All right, I'll go and see that with you then. Because you weren't impressed with the trailer, was you?
No, I felt like it was very much aimed at your son's age group, to be honest.
Right, fair.
That's kind of, it felt like a kid's film.
Yeah.
It felt like a modern day Mac and Me.
I know, it's not like that. But
okay.
Okay, I'll believe you.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, I think we'll move on slightly from this because I know I'm falling behind with the comments, and I know we need to chat movies, so I need to kind of get us ticking. So we kind of lost track of each other with what we've been picking up, and I know we've been talking against physical media in a way. We're probably seen as physical media haters now, Glenn, after this live stream. But
you are.
In the past,
you're so negative all the time, Phil. It's disgusting.
In the past 2 or 3 weeks, have you picked up anything physically? No, I don't even pick them up. I mean, physical media-wise, not just like lifting a bag or.
No, I genuinely haven't. Not a single thing. Not a book. Not a CD. Not a Blu-ray. Nothing at all. I was away for 2 weeks. Came back for how long have I been back now? 2 weeks. Yeah, I've been back for 2 weeks. Not been into the city. Not been into town. So, not picked anything up at all. So this is all on you.
Okay.
And your amazing purchases.
I've made 3 purchases, but I'm only going to show 2 because the third one, it will probably be revealed on Thursday's video because it ties into that. So I don't want to reveal it just here because it's a strange title. It's something I didn't particularly want to pick up, but I made promises that I'd get something watched. So I did it on someone's recommendation because they really recommended it. So I thought, tell you what, for you, I'm going to give it a watch. I generally do that when someone recommends something for me. I'd try and give it a watch.
Yeah, of course you do.
So
I saw where you were going. Don't worry, it wasn't missed.
I don't know if you caught my last live stream in full, but the pickups that I made while I was away, I went to the CEX, spent a fortune. I got people might know this already, but I got Abigail Blu-ray. I didn't bother going for the 4K. I just don't feel like I need a 4K of it, but it is one that I'm ready to rewatch now. I'm quite looking forward to it. You enjoyed that one, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Good pickup, bad pickup. What do you think? Want your opinion, Glenn?
I think it's a good pickup.
Have you picked it up?
I have picked it up.
Good.
And Radio Silence have confirmed that Abigail does exist in the same universe as Ready or Not.
So, yeah.
Be nice to have a little crossover and Samara.
I wonder if there will be a crossover for the sequel, for the Ready or Not sequel. Or if that would cross over into a sequel for Abigail. Who knows?
Well, yeah, Melissa Barrera might turn up in Ready or Not too. Who knows?
Well, then my second pickup, I think you'll be impressed with this, Glenn. I know I've told everyone else, and we had a little guessing game on it. It's a movie directed by the director of Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Rennie Harlan. Okay. Yeah.
Got Cutthroat Island.
The movie that sank Coralco.
Can you remember this when it went to Blockbuster that they released the incorrect VHS and we had to remove it from the shelves straight away?
No, I don't remember that at all.
I'm sure they sent the wrong edition. It was the theatrical cut and it was meant to be slightly edited for the VHS.
No, don't remember that.
But yeah, I don't think it was a film I enjoyed.
No, I didn't particularly.
I saw it on the shelf and I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind giving it another look. And it's rated PG. I thought it's an action film from Rennie Harlan, who, Cliffhanger, Die Hard 2, Long Kiss Goodnight. I thought it's worth another rewatch. And with it being PG, I thought I'm going to get this and I'm going to try and rewatch, but I'm going to do it with the kids. And that's my reason. I think it was £8 and it had a slipcover.
You use your children as an excuse far too many times.
It's like money in the bank having a slipcover, I tell you.
Yeah. For such a great title like that, definitely. It will double its value.
Yeah, definitely. Would you watch it again?
No.
I'll lend it to you when I've watched it.
I'm all right, thanks.
Okay.
You watch Terrifier, and I'll watch Cutthroat Island, or watch Babylon, for example.
Well, you got to watch
or The Artist. I don't know. All these amazing films that I recommend to you.
Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. You still don't watch that, have you?
No. I started to watch it, if you remember, but then I got rid of my multi-region player.
Yeah.
But I have one again now, so I can watch it.
Yeah. So
even if I watched that this week, you still would not watch Babylon, Terrifier, The Artist.
I'm a busy dude, man. I'm a busy man.
Rubbish. You've got enough time to watch Wahlberg crap.
See what everyone else has got going on. Dunkin' Donuts, I've got to get some studying done. Have great days, guys. You too, Duncan. Hope you're
happy studying.
World Money Wins. I have been re-embracing used DVDs. Smart money there, I think, with the DVDs because they can be picked up for pennies now. Pennies. AJ Pink imported Barry Lyndon, No Country for Old Men, Criterion 4Ks from Amazon US during the Criterion sale, and got Zodiac Director's Cut Blu-ray.
Nice.
I'm lingering around No Country for Old Men. It's a classic, and I may still go for it because I think the Criterion sale is still on at Barnes & Noble. Charlie 85 got Human Traffic 4K coming from BFI. World Money Wins just bought Better Off Dead on DVD. I Love the 80s from the I Love the 80s series. Nicholas Dickens. I Like Abigail. We do too, Nicholas. Thank you.
You did. He didn't write it like that. There was no need to say it like
that. Jerry Shear. Pickups this week. Novocaine. Novocaine.
Nice. I quite enjoyed it.
The Amateur, the chunky box of Talk to Me from Second Sight, Final Destination Bloodlines HMV exclusive biscuits in tomorrow. You didn't like Bloodlines, did you?
No, it did very little for me, to be honest.
The Talk to Me, I do want to revisit if I ever get a chance, and I would pick up the Second Sight standard edition so I could listen to the interviews with the directors because I do find them really interesting. Nicholas, I got The Brutalist on Friday for $4.99 on iTunes. Another digital purchase.
Why didn't you read that the same way as his other one?
The other one was more simple, so that's why I went with the voice. Apologies, Nicholas. I'm sorry.
You made him sound like Matt Damon in Team America.
Darren G. I got Superman the movie and Superman 2 on 4K as they're both in the half price at HMV.
Yeah,
classics. Both.
The only two of the Christopher Reeve movies you need to own.
Yes. John the Movie Man picked up Homicide: Life on the Streets, complete series, and Homicide the movie. I've never checked that out. Have you?
No, I haven't. I'm not.
Nicholas Dickens. I'd love to see Zodiac Director's Cut. Did that get released on Blu-ray, or was it HD DVD, or am I making things up in my mind?
You're probably delirious. We're not even doing a live stream at the minute.
Anyway, Quint Davis, how's Phil's remodeling going? Slowly, Quint. We got the new doors and window put in on Wednesday. There's
doors. That's plural, Phil.
Yeah, it is. Excuse me. There was a problem with one of the doors, so they had to come back on Thursday and do it. But now they're in. I can get the floor re-leveled, and then we're onto the electrics in August, and then we'll be looking at the walls for plastering and things like that. So it's slow. It's slow, but we're not rushing it because I don't want the stress of it. Jerry Chair, the Cliffhanger remake is coming soon with a female lead. Honestly, I'm surprised we've not seen anything else about that. There was a load of news out at one point, and then it just went really quiet again.
Well, it was supposed to be a direct sequel, wasn't it? Where those two, because it's Nell Tiger Free, who was in The First Omen, and they were originally going to be Sylvester Stallone's daughters. But it's Stallone now. Is it Pierce Brosnan? that's been cast in it. I can't
don't know.
remember.
I
Who
don't
was
know.
it? But yeah, Nell Tiger Free, and I can't think who's playing her sister. But I'll give it a look. We'll see. We'll see what the trailer looks like first.
Tom says, not picked up anything for ages. Watched quite a few on streaming though. Amazon had a lot of new releases: Warfare, Heads of State, Heretic, and last night watched Amateur on Disney Plus.
That's twice you've said Heretic correctly. Well
I
done.
know. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm very trying.
Yeah, you're training.
Smells a lot. In the last 3 weeks, I've bought a bunch. Criterions during the sale. We'll take a minute to list them.
And he has done.
Yeah, I'll get to it then. Kate Redgate, The Artist, is a wonderful film. Highly recommended.
It is, Kirk, isn't it? It's a wonderful film. It really is.
Talking about pickups, I got Barry Lyndon, Blue Velvet, No Country for Old Men, Days in Heaven, Ran, Inside Llewellyn Davis, Bird, and the documentary Streetwise. That's a nice little haul there. Jeremy says, can we do a Terrifier live stream in October?
What a great idea. Maybe we should do all three.
For a first time watch, do you think? Do you think I should hold my first time watch for then?
No, I think, well, to be honest with you, you should have watched it years ago, but
I didn't like the look of it, and I still don't, to be fair.
Unbelievable.
There we go. So meows a lot. Winchester 73, The Shape of Water, Demon Pond, In the Heat of the Night, The Law, Red River, The Asphalt Jungle, Big Heat, 3 Outlaw Samurai, Grave of the Fireflies, 3 Musketeers, 4 Musketeers. There we go. That's a nice bunch. That's going to keep you going for quite some time. Yeah, some good titles in there. I wanted to pick up Shape of Water in the Criterion sale as well, actually. I think it's going to be No Country for Old Men and Shape of Water for me. I think. Hooks back. Hooks Pop Culture Cafe. There we go. Yeah. Phil, your videos always seem so polished, and since you like to use multiple cameras, are your videos scripted or improvised? I've scripted. I try and script them because I found that when I was improvising them, I tended to repeat myself a lot, and there was lots more ums and ahs, which I got sick of editing out. So I started to script them and found that I could hit the points that I wanted more often, and also limit the amount of times I repeat myself. I still repeat myself a little bit in them, but yeah, generally they are scripted, apart from the one that's coming out on Thursday. I think that's partially scripted for the first 5 minutes, and then it goes to shit.
Off on a tangent.
Yes. Charlie 85, Red Sonja's got a remake coming out. It's had a remake coming out for 4 years. I think that's been on the shelf. It's been a long time.
The trailer came online last week, though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. So it exists. It's in the ether.
I auditioned for that.
Yeah.
Went to Martin Ford. That's like.
Oh no, I think it's actually gone to a woman who's playing Red Sonja rather than
not her old fool. I'm a horror films. Hey guys, picked up 24 titles from the Vinegar Syndrome sale that arrived earlier in the week. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors with Peter Cushing was the best there.
I do like that film.
Yeah. Steve Lee picked up Catch Me If You Can 4K on iTunes. Another digital one there.
Great film.
Yeah. So meows a lot. I've watched 12 movies in my collection in the last 3 weeks that I've previously never watched. Enjoyed them all.
Well done, yeah.
Enjoyed them all.
That's good going.
I made this says, haha, I know Martin. Yeah, Martin. He's from my neck of the woods in Sutton Coldfield. Yeah, is a big fella. Is a big fella. Anyway, Glenn, did you want to discuss anything that you've watched this week? I think we've covered a bunch of it as we've been going through, to be honest.
I think we pretty much have. I started watching Apartment 7A as well, which is like a prequel to Rosemary's Baby.
Right.
And it's just basically, it feels like a straight-to-TV movie remake of Rosemary's Baby.
All right. Okay.
Supposedly like set before, but they're just treading the same ground. And
can I be honest with you? It's one I do intend to watch. After you talked about it, but I've never watched Rosemary's Baby, and it is one that's high on my list to try and get hold of to actually watch. I've never seen it.
It's one that had passed me by for many, many years, and I only watched it a few years back, and I think it's one of them that really holds strong from that kind of time period.
Yeah.
It was really good. So yeah, there was that. Megan 2.0. We've watched a whole season of Drag Race All Stars. Yeah, we both like that.
Well, I've not watched much. It's just been Squid Games, really. But
yeah,
one of our viewers did something really interesting a couple of weeks ago. He sent me pictures of what he's been doing, and I said, you know what, I'm going to save them and I'm going to put them on the live stream, because we know it's something you always comment on. We've got Big Jace that has always got a picture with someone pretty cool, and so he sent me these. I've got Big Jace with Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibbons.
Yeah, they were at Comic-Con for, I don't know where it was. Where was it, Big Jace?
It was London.
It
was London. Yeah.
They had the Lethal Weapon pair, Riggs and Murtaugh. And Big Jace got them both on there. But I must admit, as cool as that is, the talk of another Lethal Weapon film is kind of frightening for me now. Because it depends what the story is, depends what position they put these characters in. But if they do come back, they truly do look too old for that stuff.
They do now. I mean, Danny Glover, when he came out with that line in the first one, he was only like early 40s.
Yeah, he was younger than us.
Yeah. No. I'm in my 30s. What are you on about?
Yeah. How cool is that?
But yeah, the fact that Mel Gibson's supposed to be directing it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, how cool to meet them, especially if you've grown up with the movies as well. As crazy as Mel Gibson went, it was, yeah.
Did he go crazy though?
Well, because, I don't know. It's opinionated. And,
I watched him on Joe Rogan, and he spoke a hell of a lot of sense, quite frankly. So,
yeah,
I think certain people wanted to make Mel sound a little bit crazier.
Yeah. Big J says no chance of a sequel. Danny couldn't even stand for the photos.
No.
Well, that's quite sad. But it was the Olympia London Film Comic-Con. Just going to jump back to the comments because I'm quite wary of time now because I've babbled quite a bit. And Stephen Lee was just asking. Well, Nicholas Dickens says Rosemary's Baby is a fantastic horror along with The Omen, which I prefer to The Exorcist. All three are classics. AJ Pink watched Zodiac Director's Cut. It's quite popular. Is there a new release of this?
Yes. Yeah. It came out in 4K 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably me missing it. So it has been out on Blu-ray. Yeah, Nightcrawler, Taste of Fear, Rush, and F1 in the cinema for the second time.
Nice. Okay.
Once. John Robinson, and watched Superman twice at the cinema, one in 2D and once in 3D. Nice. John did comment earlier saying, finally got around to watching Maxine, and yesterday watched Sinners.
Cool.
Stephen Lee, there we go. Stephen, what conclusion did you reach about needing a physical media collection or not? I got rid of mine a few years ago. I buy films digitally if cheap, and I can barely keep up with what's streaming. I don't know. I don't think we did come to a conclusion in it. It's I think the conclusion I would come to is no, you don't need a physical media collection at all. But if you love movies and you want to collect and keep those movies safe from any tampering or any risk of not having them on streaming forever, then physical media is going to win on that.
So much of me screams I would miss those titles far too much.
Yeah.
But then, like I said to you, I think I can't remember the last time I went over there and took one off a shelf and put it in the player. I think I've watched things streaming and various different things, TV stuff, and would I miss it? I don't know. I think if it was gone, the amount of titles I've got rid of, like I say, in that call, that was hundreds of titles that went, and I've not missed a single one.
Yeah.
But I still want them. They're not doing anybody any harm.
No, I think the thing is you don't need a physical media collection. As a collector. They're nice to have, but I think the way technology has changed and the way that people approach the releasing of the movies, I've lost what I was saying.
You don't need to have many material things.
No.
Whatsoever.
Nice.
But it's sometimes nice to have them.
Yeah. Yeah. It all depends how much you care to see it on your shelf. Because like you say, I've just got Lethal Weapon collection 4K. Well, the first one 4K and the rest are HD on digital. So the likelihood is I'm not going to use this Blu-ray box set that's behind me.
And the likelihood is as well, the digital collection that you've bought, when 2 gets upgraded to 4K digitally, it will just automatically become 4K as well.
So I don't need to keep Lethal Weapon on my shelf anymore. I probably will do because they are quite high in my favourites movies. So I probably will keep them there just to show that I like it, but I don't need to.
Show who, though? Who are you showing?
Show myself. Show myself.
Okay. Got to prove to yourself.
Just to remind myself.
Mm.
So, yeah. Stephen Lee says, but physical media can be fun, the artwork, etc. Yeah, I think some of that's beginning to feel a bit overblown and things now when you take into account the posters and art cards and the pomp that you sometimes get with it. But yeah, some of the artwork is quite unique and quite nice to see. But I could get a poster for that if I wanted. So he owns a lot. Watched recently Scarface 32, Winchester 73, Clooney Brown 46, In the Heat of the Night, The Law, The Killing 1956, That's Strange Love, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Deep Star 6, and Space Odyssey 2001.
Wow.
Yeah, AJ Pink says, I think a well-curated and manageable collection in terms of size is the way to go. I think that's why I need to aim my ship as well. Charlie 85 finally watched Game of Death 1 and 2 this week from Arrow. They were much better than anticipated. Raz Sucks, are you guys excited for the Alien Earth TV series?
I think it looks okay. There was a new trailer for it this week that didn't do as much for me as the kind of teaser from a couple of months ago, but I'll give it a look for sure.
Yeah. Weezy says you're like a bickering couple.
No, we're not.
Glenn is.
No, we're not. Sure, you are.
No,
you are, idiot.
Oh, stop it. You're always like this.
Shut your face.
Jesus Christ.
Sick of it. Yeah.
I'm going to mute you.
Well, I have a microphone.
I have muted you.
So you will listen to every damn word I have to say!
Yeah, I can shut you up. See?
Yes, dear. Whatever. Whatever, dear.
Needed to do that. Anyway, I've overran us again. We might have missed some comments. I think we probably have missed some comments.
I think you've missed quite a few comments. But
yeah, so apologies for that. But if you want your comment highlighted next time, there's always Super Chat. That'll get you commented.
Subtle. That was subtle.
I know. If you want me to read your comments, Super Chat.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to read your comments in future.
One thing I do need to know is I need to check who's got the crown for the most comments, because I don't know if Jeremy Carr got like dethroned or not. It doesn't show me as we go along. So before I sign off, I'm going to have
Jeremy Carr. Jeremy Carr.
It is it? Yeah, Jeremy Carr.
Number 1. Jeremy Carr.
25 XP. I don't know what that buys you, Jeremy. I've no idea, but it's there. John Robinson, number 2. AJ Pink, number 3. Jerry Cheer coming in at number 4. Number 5, we have Ace Mech. I'm going to have to count the opposite on this next time. I'll do a countdown next time, eh?
But number 6, take that. Back for good.
Yeah.
Or 3 places at number 7.
Right then. So, thank you, everyone. Try again. So, thank you for everyone that's joined us on the live stream. Sorry if I've been a bit
boring.
Funny with the words.
Boring.
Words out and things. Hope to catch you next week. And anything else to add, Glenn, before we disappear?
You're boring.
Thank you all. Good night.
Bye, everyone.
Good. Something else.
Yeah.